Hello everyone, welcome back. I am recording with outside today because I've been in home for a long time due to this lockdown, and I felt like a bit of vampire. So I thought, get out, soak a little sun, get some vitamin D. Though my eyes are kind of not adjusting, so much better. So today we are going to talk about dying M1 Max. Yes, that's kind of true. See, M1 Max are really good devices and really good computer, and M1 chips, Apple from Apple Silicon, they're niche. I mean, 5 nanometer technology, first time in on such a large scale when it comes to laptops and all, ARM technology, and they're really pioneering. However, there's a new kind of issue came up with this M1 Max, and that is memory swapping. So, what is memory swapping? Every operating system in the world, be it Windows, be it macOS, be it Linux, they all use this feature. What it does is actually share some of your memory storage from your SSD cards with your RAM. When the RAM is full and you're running some really task intensive or heavy duty softwares like editing, rendering, VFX, and all, it start using some of the space of SSD as a form of RAM. It writes some of data from your RAM to your SSD, like a sharing or giving some extra hand to RAM, or some of the data which is not being used by RAM on the instance and write it on the SSD and save some of the space on RAM for other task intensive applications that you might be running at the moment. Now, this happens a lot of time and really fast thanks to the fast read and write ability of SSDs, which is growing day by day. However, it was not such an issue with other processors, and because the RAM was sufficient fast enough to cope up with the processor and the applications. But nowadays applications are becoming really heavy, and RAMs are not growing that fast. Yes, they are very good with the latest technologies, but not to the level where I want or you want them to be. Whereas M1 chip is insanely fast and it requires RAM to keep up all the time with it. A lot of people, even the big social media influencers, they got carried away. They said, "Oh, it's so good M1 chip that is with just 8 GB of RAM, it's ready to break the records of even the best i9, i7 processors or AMD Ryzen 5 processors when it comes to performance, and it is able to do all the heavy tasks quicker, more efficiently, more smoothly on just 8 GB of RAM." Yes, that was the efficiency of M1s, not of RAM. They got carried away. They started recommending everybody, 8 GB is more than enough. 8 GB is all that you need, which was not true. Look, you can push the limit of physics, but you cannot defy the physics. 8 GB RAM is tiny amount of RAM when it used for some kind of VFX or designing or rendering or photo editing or having some kind of video editing. No, it just get filled up. The main reason behind that was not just this RAM was tiny, but also Rosetta. Yes, the Rosetta 2. M1 Mac is ARM based chip. Most of the softwares are not optimized to this chip yet. Rosetta was doing all the heavy lifting, where it was translating all those applications to run compatible with M1, and it was eating up a lot of RAM space. So rest of the space which was required for these operations to run was taken by SSD. When it comes to memory swapping, why it is issue and why it might kill your Mac is because an SSD have a limited read and write capacity. For example, 256 GB of SSD have somewhere around 150 terabytes of read and write on a good day by a good manufacturer, which is a lot. But if you're writing every day 100 GB, just because you are doing a very heavy VFX, with that calculation, your Mac might just survive 2-3 years, which is nothing, because I've seen people using for 8 years their Mac, so 2 years is almost 1/4 of that. And when you're paying 1000 to 1200, 1300, 1500 for your machine, 2 years is too less. This spread like wildfire. However, the actual issue which was brought up on the forums, different forums, were far less, maybe like 2, 3 only, where only I seen only one person showing that total read and write capacity was eaten by 3%. I mean, only 97% was left after a couple of months of usage, which is quite misleading. I'm going to argue in favor of Apple here. The reason behind, majority of people are not doing such heavy a duty, running such heavy duty softwares on their Macs. They are mostly students. They're normal users who do normal things like watching YouTube videos, surfing web, doing some Excel and Word sheet and some college or office related work, for which any 8 GB Mac is more than enough. You don't need more than that for a normal usage. But if you want something heavy, you're better off with 16 GB. The problem arises is because Apple decided to solder not only the RAM, which is a part of processor now, it's kind of an actual whole CPU in just one chip. So, as we say, system on chip, SoC, they took it quite literally. They also soldered the SSD on their logic board or motherboard, potato, same. Which is actually the problem. If SSD dies, you have no other option. Even if you go to Genius Bar, they will say, hey, it's dead, you better off buy a new Mac, because they are not ready to remove that SSD and solder a new one. They will say you have to change the whole logic board, which will cost you more than the new device. Better you buy a new Mac. Bad practice, Apple. So how you can keep it safe, how you can actually avoid this? I would say if you're buying a Mac just because you heard someone on YouTube or any other place saying that, oh, it's so good and 8 GB is well enough, don't do that, please. If you have plans to do anything heavy, you're better off with 16 GB. Or you might like to wait for newer Mac, which would be M1X as the rumors goes, M1X Macs, and what they will be coming with new form factor, new design, and some upgraded functionalities and hardware. Now back to this, I would say if you're using Mac normally, as I said, well and good, you're good enough, don't worry. If you're using for heavy duty task and you have only 8 GB of RAM, do not worry again, because your Mac is not going to die tomorrow, or maybe not even a year from now. Plus, a lot of software which are not compatible and using Rosetta will soon be made compatible. Though keep in mind, a lot of compatible softwares are also eating up RAM, so they will be optimized. Everything is going to go this way only, because Apple have decided to ditch Intel altogether and go with the Apple Silicon. There's no way back for them, because they have shown the world that they are better than Intel or AMD, and which I feel proud of, because I want to see growth and I want to see Intel bringing their 5nm, which might happen in one eternity or two. AMD have already planned to roll out their 5nm chips by 2023, which is again too far from now. Apple might just sweep the market with the Mac, and they have seen a tremendous growth with this M1. Apart from that, I feel Windows should optimize their operating system for Mac M1. Give their customers more options, but that might kill their Surface lineup. But that's the business. Either you stay up with the trend or you die. So that's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, do like the video. If you consider to subscribe, you're more than welcome. Leave a comment if you agree with me or disagree with me, and if you want to talk about this more, I will be coming back with more in-depth knowledge and in-depth research with this. Have a good one. See you in the next one.